Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Zayeem Ahmed Siddique with my fellow members Nashrah Sheikh, Wajiha Majid, and Shajia Batool. Today we are here to discuss the topic of our presentation, which is agriculture development and food security. Before the introduction, I want to tell you we will explore the crucial intersection of agriculture and global food security, addressing challenges, innovations, and strategies to ensure a sustainable future for all. So, for the introduction, I want to tell you agriculture development is all about making farming more efficient and productive, whereas food security is ensuring that everyone has enough safe and nutritious food to eat. After the introduction, I want to discuss the importance of agriculture development and food security. It plays a crucial role in addressing global hunger, poverty, and in promoting sustainable development. I want to discuss the measures taken by the developing and developed countries for the agriculture development, whereas United States is the biggest example of development country. So, according to the report of the World Bank, US spent over 140 billion annually on agriculture support including subsidies, and in 2020 according to USDA total government payment to US farmer reached 46.5 billions. So, FAO highlights the extensive adoption of technology in agriculture with over 90% of farm using computers and 73% using GPS system. For more example of developed countries for agriculture development, Nashrah Sheikh is here to discuss.
Hey, this is Nashrah Sheikh. Now, take an example of some developing countries. Firstly, China. According to the World Bank, China's agriculture research expenditures exceeded $9 billion in 2019, focusing on crop yield, soil quality, and sustainability, promotion of sustainable agriculture, and investment in agricultural infrastructure such as irrigation system, improved seeds, and better storage facilities can fulfill food security in developing countries. The agriculture production level needs to rise faster than the population growth without increasing damage to the environment. Nowadays, agriculture raises productivity rapidly, yet it also pays a high price for overconsumption of natural resources and energy use. What about Pakistan? In recent years, Pakistan has produced more food than its population consumes and has become a major producer of wheat and rice. However, the poorest and most vulnerable people in Pakistan cannot afford a sufficient and nutritious diet despite the overall growth in food production. Let's talk about the mistakes made by countries in agriculture development. China has been criticized for its overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, it consumes chemical fertilizers over 30% of the global total. Cambodia is also in this list. The main challenges that countries face in agriculture are climate change, increased input cost, growing population, volatility, and lack of agricultural equipment. The study confirmed that the average farmer's knowledge of sustainable agriculture production is rather low. A lot of mistakes are made in fertilization, forage conservation, and slurry application. Old method of sowing seeds, shortage of inputs, waterlogging, soil erosion are the main agricultural problems in Pakistan. Now come to the second part of our discussion, which is food security. What is food security? Food and Agriculture Organization defines food security as when all people at all time have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, nutritious food that meet their dietary needs and preferences for an active and healthy life. Food security will become an increasing problem over the coming decades. Food security is major concern for the developing world, and around 37% of the population of Pakistan is food insecure. Only 63% of the countries' households are food secure?
This is Shajia Batool. In this slide, we are going to discuss about the dimensions of food security. So the first dimension is that food should be available. Country have enough food production to feed each and every citizen of its country. If there is a shortage of anything, so import from other countries. And previous year's stock should be stored properly. Simply availability means sufficient food production within the country. Import stock stored in government granaries. The next one is accessibility. Accessibility is that food should be in the reach of each and every individual. The third one is affordability. It means that individual has enough money to buy sufficient, safe and healthy food to meet their dietary needs. And the last one is stability. Stability means that there should be adequate food all the times, thus certain that access and utilization of appropriate food is not curtailed by any hindrance, shortages or by emergencies or sudden crises. Now we move on to the cause of food insecurity. Food insecurity occurs when someone is not able to reliably acquire nutritious food. The main cause of food insecurity are poverty, conflict, climate change, natural disaster, poor infrastructure, and many more. Poverty, poverty and food insecurity have a very close relationship. Food insecurity is a direct result of poverty. When you are hungry, you cannot do anything. Conflict. Conflict also has an economic impact. It often leads to soaring inflation rates that make imported or even local foods unaffordable for many residents. Natural disaster, climate change is also a major cause of hunger, with each shock setting the most vulnerable people and communities further and further back. Too little or too much rainfall can destroy harvests or reduce the amount of animal pasture available. These fluctuations are made worse. Extreme climate patterns also tend to affect the poorest region of the world the most. Poor infrastructure. Lack of infrastructure is an important reason for vulnerability to hunger. Okay, now in this slide, we are going to talk about how developing countries are fulfilling food security. So, developing countries are employing various strategies to enhance food security, including investing in agricultural infrastructure, promoting sustainable agricultural practices, improving farmers' access to technology and education, implementing social safety nets, and promoting international trade and aid partnership.
My name is Wajiha Majid, and now we're going to discuss about the challenges of greenhouse gases. So, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, due to these gases, ozone layer is depleting. These gases and climate change affects agriculture producers greatly because agriculture and fisheries depend on specific climate conditions. To make our environment sustainable, we should reduce these gases by phasing out fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas and move to renewable energy such as solar and wind. Also, reduce the use of fertilizers and pesticides for producing sustainable agricultural food. Now, next we have how developed countries overcome food security problems. As you can see here, we are taking the example of two developed countries, Finland and Ireland. So, what they do, number one, they develop long term planning. Long term planning means they determine the processes and actions needed to achieve strategic goals. Number two, the maintenance of prices. They maintain their prices. Number three, maintain their natural resources. Number four, maintain their imports and exports. Number five, the most important, introduce smart farming techniques. Next, we have the role of agriculture in food security. Agriculture plays a major role in food security as it is the main source of the world's food supply. It can help reduce poverty, raise income, and improve food security for 80% of the world's poor. we can overcome challenges and build a future where everyone has access to nutritious food. Thank you very much, and I really hope that you liked it.